So I bought myself a road bike and really started enjoying it, and then talked to another friend of mine who was racing classic bikes, and he said, you should get into classic bikes. So I got on the internet, and the first one I bought was the wee BSA. Took every nut and bolt out of it, stripped the frame right down. I got the frame powder coated. I reconditioned the engine, made new exhaust for it, made new seat, repaired the tank, and the wee BSA is probably the bike I'm most proud of. A lot of the cosmetic parts I made myself, because probably that's about 75% of the enjoyment I get out of the bike is building it up. The mechanical parts are actually quite easy to get from England, which you could probably build a whole new bike if you could afford it, just buying parts, brand new parts from England. You know, in this, we're talking in 1954 era, and they've got the parts for that now. They're obviously remaking them with the patents that they've got. That's got the original frame. Well, there's a lot around it because they've been converted to race bikes. Clever people had made new frames for them, which would be half the weight of that was to get the weight round. Different suspension, bigger brakes, that type of thing, where this one is all standard. Carburetor is different. The carburetor, I've got a Delorto carburetor on it, which it should have an Amel carburetor. Bit of history with the Triton. They're I think they started about the mid-50s and went up to probably late 60s. It's not a manufactured bike. It's a Norton featherbed frame and wheels and suspension with a Triumph engine fitted into it. Here the word comes Triton. Now, apparently it started off that there was a company in England that was manufacturing three-wheeled cars, and you had an option of a Triumph engine or a Norton engine, and the Norton company decided they wouldn't sell this company any engines anymore, so they had to buy a complete bike. So they took the motors out, put them in the cars, and there were these frames lying round, and I think it was probably in the Mods and Rockers era and the cafe races, they got hold of them, put the Triumph engines in them because they thought they were a bit more robust, and they became quite a popular bike in the calf racer fraternity. A lot of people say to me, because it's a BSA Gold Star, which is quite a collector's bike, and a lot of people say that I shouldn't race it, but that's what they're used for, and if something breaks, well, you just repair it and you get enjoyment out of it. The BSA is a 350cc, so it's not fast, but I quite like riding it. It's still good fun. The Triton is a 750, so it goes a lot faster. The only trouble with that is, because people know it's a 750, you probably have to be up in the field a bit more, and you've got to try and keep pulling the horns in and try to behave yourself. With a BSA, I don't have to do that. I bought this Toyota Hi-Ace van, and I thought I don't like towing a trailer much, so I'll design it that I can put the bikes in it. And then I thought, when I go to these meetings, mainly the street meetings, you've got to have accommodation, like getting a motel, which being a retired person, they get a bit expensive. So I thought, well, I could turn my Hi-Ace van into a camper as well as a motorcycle transporter. And that's what I've done. And I can get two race bikes in the Hi-Ace, and my wife and I can sleep in it. So I've got all my loves there with me. If I go to a race meeting, and probably applies to both bikes, it does. A lot of people come around and take photographs of them and say what lovely bikes are, and that makes you feel pretty good. And then I go out and race it, which is not bad either.